What happens when you take fine actors and give them a crappy script to work on? Let's find out in today's podcast as we review one of the web series. Hi, this is Amar, and you're listening to Entertainment, Entertainment, Entertainment. Okay, and welcome to the episode 3 of Entertainment, Entertainment, Entertainment. In this episode, we're going to be talking about the web series by Alt Balaji, Kar Le Tu Bhi Mohabbat. And I guess I could have done a better job of lyrically singing the song from Life in a Metro that Preetham has given us. Very nicely done, and I quite like that song. So that's the title track. So very catchy, and I would say that's the best part or the highlight of the web series, if I was to say anything about it, apart from the two fine actors, Ram Kapoor and Sakshi Tanwar. So I guess in the previous episodes also I have spoken a lot about Ekta Kapoor and how she deals with things, and I know some of you didn't like it, and that's where I received a boo. Yep, I get it. So nothing personal about Ekta Kapoor. Once again, for me, it's all about the work that's coming from a production house. Whether I enjoy it, I don't enjoy it, and that's where, to put it factually, the premise of Karli Tu Bhi Mohabbat is simple enough and interesting, as I would say, which is a movie star being acted by Ram Kapoor, who is basically not able to give any successful movies that are not working consecutive. Three movies flopped. So that way, I guess that guy is struggling. Plus, he's 40. So obviously, the age is catching up. Multiple things playing into his life. His basically having a divorce. He got a divorce some time ago, but then that's something that is also not leaving, become alcoholic. So yeah, ये सारी चीजें typically जो अपनी life में होती हैं is something that's coming up for him. And to get the next movie, which can be the life turning thing or the most important thing for him, he has to go for rehabilitation or something where he has to basically get rid of his habit of being alcoholic. Yeah, and that's where Sakshi Tanwar comes into play, who has a 100% score of getting people out of the addictions that they've had of different kinds. So you clearly can expect some of the emotional angle, and obviously there has to be the Punjabi and the South Indian angle that has to be brought in, which is pretty much going to kind of create that rift, the culture, and other parts of it. Plus, one guy is being very extrovert, vibrant, playboyish character, someone who is very conscious of his image, thinks that he's God, goes out in public while he's drunk, and if by any chance he hits a car also, he would just come out, kind of expand his arms pretty much like a Shah Rukh Khan style, and give a selfie to his fans. Shows the still the Bollywoodish or Indian mentality that we have, that if a star does something wrong, people would probably just come and take a selfie. The smile dissolves it all. So yeah, that part is something where you see one character. The other one, that is Sakshi Tanwar, is very orthodox, listens to the Suprabhatam and other things, talks to her mother, while watching a South Indian show in the night, has a very routine life, very predictable, no excitement in life, very mellowed down, forthright. So, yeah, the initial character setup gives a way for a lot of things that can be achieved. And I guess when I was listening to the web series Adda, that's an interesting concept, and I'll talk about it in the future episodes of the podcast. One of the interesting things done by Anupama Chopra's channel, Film Companion. So when uh, when Ekta Kapoor was establishing, or basically having this old Balaji concept being worked out, and there are multiple web series in play, and obviously we know that Ram Kapoor and Sakshi Tanwar are her favorites, so that was on the card by all means. And web series, the way the structure has been going, and she said, "Oh, I want to adapt. I don't want to be left out. I want to reinvent myself. I want to get into this new thing that's catching on." So yeah, I mean, by all means, I thought that she has been the queen on the television industry, but I clearly feel that we become very, very regressive, and she's one of the major contributors to that. So clearly, the shows are very regressive. It's about the lifestyle that's shown, the Sasbo angle, the rich versus poor, the melodrama. So I was like, okay, अब यही चीज तो नहीं आएगी. Most likely, we should be getting a different lot. But I'm sorry to say, it's the same shit. Ideally, if you were to kind of compare, and that's what happened when I watched season 1 of Karle Tu Bhi Mehabbat. I thought it's pretty much, let's say, the first 10 to 15 episodes that would play in Ekta Kapoor show, establishing the characters and the initial storyline to attract the audience. Even today on TV, we clearly have the first 10 to 13 episodes, which are more like the make or break thing for any TV show in India. I'm referring to, obviously, for US, if you were to say, that's almost like a season. 13 episode kind of comprise of a season. If it's a longer series, it would be most likely a 24 episode one, but that's where they kind of end a season. Here we take a lot of time, pretty much like being Indian. So coming back, I thought that I'm probably watching the first 15 episodes while watching the season 1. Initially, it started off well, the conflict, the chemistry, the way the both repel each other, and the standard thing about opposites attract, how Ram Kapoor, the actor, falls in love with the good person Sakshi Tanwar is. So yeah, a good amount of things kind of coming into play. The supporting cast just about supports. There are illogical things, and more of it, in fact, comes in the season 2. So yes, they have come out with 2 seasons so far on this, and it leaves it wide open. But it's pretty much, you show Ram Kapoor getting a nonsensical act. The thing that hurts, pains, irritates the most to me is the whole character arc not being followed. The whole basic fundamentals of a character. You've given me a character. आपने मेरे लिए ये बंदा पोर्ट्रे किया है. ये ऐसे होगा. ये इसका personality है. And then when that person starts doing things which are, forget about being irrational, idiotic, nonsensical. I'm not able to find words. I mean, who would go to a person's house and tell her mother कि मेरे घर में प्रॉब्लम हो गया है तो मैं आपके यहाँ पे रहने चले आऊँ. द मदर इज वेरी हैप्पी, बेचारे को प्रॉब्लम है, बिकॉज she knows that this damn person is a movie star and the person is sleeping on the ground, you can show the love, the feelings in many different ways. This is not the only way to show, and there are many more nonsensical things you would see in the show. So, all in all, I would say it's two fine actors, and there are some others also who support. The comedy is very contrived. The character who has been put in to create the comedy, Pramila, pathetic. The person, I mean, not the actor, I would say the actor is doing the role that's given. Season 1 was done on a low budget. I guess they received the response. Plus, Geo Cinema has been buying all the series from Alt Balaji. So they did manage to basically put in some more budget on season 2. There are some nice moments that you would see in terms of the father-daughter relationship, the way the daughter turns around, the whole not commitmental thing that has been shown time and again in millennials once again comes into play. The past that comes haunting. So I would say all the cliched and the standard elements that you can expect in a Ekta Kapoor show are pretty much present. But the main thing is they could have done much better. Even if it's one season or two season, the entire series, the option did have much better story arc possibility. And with two fine actors, they are left nothing but to act on a very poor and crappy script that's given to them. So I feel really, really, really bad about it. I clearly feel that that budget that is being spent could have been utilized for a good, or these actors' time. I would say they deserved a better script. And what I would say, this is what we call it as a guilty pleasure. We at times we watch things while we have a guilt about it. We just watch it because we like it, right? We do things, we indulge into cake, sweets, even though we know that these are going to add a lot to our calorie count or weight. We still have it. That's where I would call this as that. There can be episodes which we eliminate, and even if we don't watch or skip, that's fine because the recap is there. But yeah, that's my thought. If you have watched, let me know what are your thoughts about it. What do you feel about Kar Le Tu Bhi Mohabbat? And I'm sure the season 3 would also come up in next year or so. Or maybe this year end, considering the way Ekta Kapoor has been producing. So yeah, what do you think about the show? What do you think about this podcast? Please do let me know your feedback. Thank you.